Hello, Circle Gatherers. It's Miss White Wolf here, just doing a quick video on a spell bowl that you can make on a waning moon to help draw in any negative aspects that are surrounding you, that you can kind of drill down to be specific on, to put into a spell bowl, working with those issues in the mundane world, but also leaving your ancestors or your spirit guides or whoever it is that you work with, even if you're Christian, if you work with God, if you're not Christian, you work with many gods, or if you don't work with any gods at all, uh, this spell bowl is for you. So basically, on a waning moon is when you can work on pushing anything away from you that perhaps is undesirable or that you wish to make changes on. Sometimes people will look to take on a new eating habits. They might try to quit smoking, or quit some sort of a vice or an addiction, or perhaps they're trying to get rid of is a strong word, but perhaps they're looking to end a relationship with someone, or perhaps they're looking to get rid of some negative thoughts that they have. Anyhow, this is a good time of the month to start working on those things. I like to work as close to the beginning stages of the waning moon if possible, if I know that it's going to take some time for me to change my habits, if it's going to take time for me to do what I need to do in the mundane world in order for my ancestors or spirit guides or my gods and goddesses to do what they need to do for me in the magical world. Sometimes these things take time, so I like to try to give it as much time as I possibly can. So tomorrow, which will be Wednesday, the moon is in a waning cycle. It starts to kind of wane today, but really it's still pretty full, too full for my liking to do on any waning moon spells. So what I've got here is I've got a bowl. Any bowl that you would like to use will do. I try to keep my magical tools separate. That's just me. But feel free. Use what we have. So if this is something that you like to do, then perhaps you might want to visit a clay cafe, or or visit your magical stores and get something that you can use on the regular. So this is what I have. This is what I made. It's it's a bit primitive, but it suits my needs. That's my bowl. I've got some Himalayan salt that I had charged by the moon last night. So salt is very good for drawing out negativity and for protection. And pink salt is said to amplify a spell. So, if you only have sea salt or pure iodinized salt, use what you have. I happen to have some pink salt available, so I'm going to use that tonight. Now I have 3 bay leaves here. Bay leaves, oh God, I hope I don't butcher this. Their Latin word is Laurus nobilis. Anyhow, some people call the bay leaf wish paper. As you can see, you can use this in stews and soups and that type of thing, but it's quite dry and paper-like. So what I like to do with a bay leaf is I like to write my wishes or write anything that I might like to see gone in a month. I like to write it on a bay leaf. Like I said, you can write wishes on a bay leaf as well. Bay leaf can be used for protection. Some people place a bay leaf in each of the corners of their home. For protections, I don't know if you've ever seen it before, but a lot of people have a bay leaf wreath in the front of their house, hanging on their front door. That's said to, I guess the lore behind that is that anyone that has one of those on their front door is less likely to have their house struck by lightning. You can burn it as a natural incense. It actually smells amazing and it crackles really nicely when you burn it. So what, like I said, what I like to do is what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to write the things that I want to work on, dispelling, I guess, what I need to kind of push away from me over the next month. And you'll see as we get into the spell that I'll get into it, and I'll also tell you how to get rid of this after you've let it run its course, because I'm only going to let this go for one moon cycle. So after the full moon, the next full moon in September, I'll get rid of this. The whole thing. The bay leaves, I will burn them, and the salt, I will take them to a local stream that will take it out to the ocean, take it back to the earth. Anyhow, so what we want to do here, what I like to do anyhow when I do any kind of spell work, even if it's simple, and even if it's simple doesn't mean that it's small and piddly. Sometimes the simplest of spells are the most successful. But anytime I'm going to work on a spell, I like to do a little bit of divination. Now, you can do that a number of ways. Some people use playing cards. The even numbers are a yes, the odd numbers are a no. What you're going to do is you're going to ask if this is a good time for you to work this kind of spell. Some people use tarot cards, again, the same idea. The tarot cards are numbered. Some people use a pendulum. So, and if you don't have a pendulum, fear not. All you need is a necklace that has a pendant on it. Just kind of get used to playing with it a little bit, or feeling it around with your energy. Now this is kind of what I have available right now. I've done some rearranging and I don't know where my pendulum is right now, but I have several, and that's pretty sad that I can't find one. So what I'll do is I'll use this pendant that I have here. So I'm going to use this pendant, and I'm going to ask if this spell that I plan on doing is for my best interest. Now, I have my pendulums programmed so that if it turns counterclockwise, it's a yes. So let's see what happens here. I'm going to stop moving it just a second. Sorry. I'll stop moving it. Is this spell for my best interest? Should I go forward? Okay, I'm going to put my elbow down because I'm sore already. Is this spell for my best interest? Should I go forward with it? Please give me a bigger swing so that I know. A little bigger, please. Maybe a little bigger. I like to see the circle. So this is a counterclockwise swing, so I'm taking that as a yes. Thank you. All right. So practice that. Get yourself, everybody has a necklace. Everyone. If you want to try to make one, you could make it on a string with an acorn or with a bracelet if it's long enough. There's lots of things that you can do to make yourself a homemade pendulum, and there's lots of places around where you can purchase a beautiful pendulum. If you're in New Brunswick, there's Mystic Moons in Moncton. If you're in Halifax, there's Silver Birch Connections. I think the Neighborhood Witch might have some. Maybe even into the Mystic. But anyhow, Carol or Sarah, be happy to help you. So here's what I'm doing. Now that I've got the go-ahead, the all green from Spirit, and I'm super dry, just a minute. I'm going to go ahead and write on my bay leaves what it is that I want to dispel. And I have them ready. So this can be a surprise to all of you. The first one is imposter syndrome around my witchcraft. So my magical Sharpie might be hard for everyone to read, but I know what it says. We'll leave that there. If you have a pen that would work better on a dry bay leaf, then have at her. Second, I'm going to use this one. Second run around is, what I want to dispel of is my laziness around exercise. So I've lost quite a bit of weight, and I can't seem to get out of my own way lately to get out and walk around. Okay, third and last. How am I going to fit this all on one bay leaf? Holy cow. Worries about others' perception when I take my power back. Look what I'm doing here. To be continued, power back. Because the bay leaf has two sides. Okay. So these are the three things that I want some help with. I'm going to do the work in the mundane world. I'm not just going to give this to someone else to do for me. Spell work is the marmalade, people. You still have to do the real work. So laziness around exercise, guess what? That means I still have to get my butt up in the morning or at night and do the thing. It's not just going to be like I feel this sudden lift and I'm brought up. No. I still have to do it. This is what I'm hoping will help me. And it usually does. Imposter syndrome around my witchcraft. Yeah, I need help with this. It's funny, a lot of us are like this. A lot of us, the Black Hat Society, are like this. Anyhow, worries about others' perception, other people's perception when I take my power back. See, I'm being pretty specific here because I want to be specific. Because I want this, honestly, I need to start seeing some changes here for myself. So, and this is my commitment. I'm going to work on this stuff, and I'm going to ask the ancestors and spirits and the gods and goddesses that I work with to help me with this as well. Here's my Himalayan salt. So I'm going to put just enough in this bowl so that I will be able to put my bay leaves in there, and they'll be able to sit nicely. Now, you don't have to have the writing side up. If you wanted to, you could, but it's not necessary. If this is going to be someplace where others might see it, I mean, if you had a nice little bowl that looked like crystal, this could look quite decorative, to tell you the truth. It doesn't have to look witchy. I mean, I want it to look witchy, but it doesn't have to. So this is what I'm going to do. So here's my 3 bay leaves in my salt. And I'm going to put this on my office altar, and it will sit there for 1 month, for 1 moon cycle. So this time next month, the day after the full moon, I will take the salt. Actually, okay, so I'll tell you what I'm going to do with it, and then I'm going to actually cast the spell. Sorry. I will take I'm getting ahead of myself. I will take the salt from this down to the water source that goes out back to the ocean, and I will let that go. And I will burn these either outside or in my stove, and I will make sure that I get rid of the ash from this. I will take it off of my property. I might actually burn it, take the ash and the salt, and let them go back to the ocean. That's probably the best idea. I might even go right straight to the ocean. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. So here's my spell bowl. You can sit with it and meditate. You can I can picture myself getting up first thing in the morning, or making a plan to do something every day by a certain time of day. I could see myself getting stronger and looking forward to that walk or that swim. You want to picture it. When you start picturing things, that's when energy actually starts to move. I want to picture myself doing more, I don't know, videos, or writing more blogs, or more pictures, or, doing more things so that I feel comfortable sharing the knowledge, with those that are interested, so that I don't feel like an imposter. It's pretty personal, but I know I'm not alone there. So anyway, just because people don't say it doesn't mean they're not thinking it. So the third one is that I want to picture is me not being worried whenever I say no, when I'm taking my personal power back, or if somebody asks me to explain why I've made a decision, I don't have to explain anything. And I don't, but I think I'm not alone with this either. A number of us get worried about confrontation, and you might have to give an explanation, and then what if it's not the right one? And anyhow, I don't want to really be thinking about, I don't want to spend my energy worrying about that stuff. All I want to spend my energy at this point in my life is just being comfortable with saying, no, I'm sorry, thank you. It's just not for me at this time. And that's it, and walking away. I'm pretty good at it, but I could be a little bit better. So this is what I need. That's a bit of negativity of my own self, my own thoughts there. So now that I have the spell bowl all ready to go, and I've started to think about what it would be like to have this negativity drawn away from me and placed into this salt bowl, I'm going to speak some words. And remember, words are very strong. You think about poetry, if you think about psalms, if you think about any speech that you've ever been moved by, words are so strong. And saying spell work is not kitschy. I'm so tired of that thought process. So what I've done is I've put together a little bit of wordage. So I asked for the spell bowl of salt and bay to work the negative aspects and the magic and energy, which I identify as, number 1, imposter syndrome with my witchcraft. Number 2, laziness around exercise. Number 3, worry about taking my personal power back and how others will perceive that. As I work the mundane world to eliminate these negative issues, ancestors and spirits, to my gods and goddesses, And when I'm talking the waning moon, to me, the goddess is Hecate. Please work beside me in the magical world. By the power of three, so mote it be. And now I'm going to sit with this again and picture that. Those three things happening and how I feel. And how I feel being lifted from that negativity. And I picture myself burning these bay leaves and letting go of the salt. And all of that negativity goes out to the ocean and gets recycled into good energy. This will sit on my altar for about a month. As you can see, it doesn't really look too crazy. If this speaks to you, feel free to use it. And I'll have something for everyone to try for the waxing moon. So I'm going to send anyone that's interested out for a little homework hunting. You see this? It's like a little treasure box. You can get these at the dollar store. If you're interested in doing something similar like this for the waxing moon, get yourself one of these. And I'll list some other materials that you'll need, and we'll talk about it when the moon is in a waxing phase. Thanks for watching, Circle Gatherers. Bye-bye. Have a nice night. Mwah, mwah, mwah.